Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Pipe Report. During my Second Amendment type videos, I always say that we don't need new laws. We just need to enforce the laws we already have. And I gave examples based on how we could do that, but here's another example. And here is an example of how the shooter in Parkland, Florida, Nicholas Cruz, if this happened, this is how we would prevent people like him from having a gun, from being able to dish out their malevolent behavior. There are ways to do so. And if the laws were actually enforced like they were supposed to be enforced, he would have never had a gun. So again, we don't need new laws. We just need to enforce the ones we already have. So without further ado, as they say, here is a prosecutor discussing how he would have prevented, or how basically the police should have prevented, Nicholas Cruz from obtaining the weapons he did.
Do you think it's worth just reminding the president, as we all need to remind it sometime, that there are deeper principles here than just kind of winning the news cycle?
Well, right, there's deeper principles like the Constitution, but I've applauded the president for doing these open, riffs with whether it's the victims of the shooting or with politicians, whether it's on DACA or on guns. I think he gets high marks for that, but also I think he can say some things that he might, upon reflection, regret. And I hope this is one of the things that he actually does regret. And what frustrates me in this whole conversation, Tucker, is the fact that the left wants to put new gun restriction and new gun laws in place because they want to argue to the American people that that's going to keep us safer. I think you and I, based on your intro, and Jody would agree, those new laws don't actually keep us safer. I was a prosecutor for 10 years in northern Wisconsin in Ashland County. And if Nicholas Cruz had lived there, this shooting would have never happened because my cops would have seen the threats that had come in, the tips that had come in, the fact that they'd been called to his house. And when Nicholas Cruz threw his mom up against the wall, they would have arrested him. They would have thrown him in jail. They would have come to me and said, we're going to have a bond hearing, and we're going to have, as a condition of bond, the fact that he can't possess a firearm. And then we want you to prosecute him, whether it's for a battery or a disorderly conduct, with an enhancer that's a domestic enhancer. And in 1997, Bill Clinton signed a law that if you're convicted of a crime that's a domestic crime, you can't possess a firearm. We would have gone through that procedure, and Nicholas Cruz would have not possessed a firearm because we have good law enforcement and good prosecutors. I don't know what happened in Florida, but to add new laws on top of laws that already aren't enforced is idiotic.